Do you want to start your career in embedded Linux? Or you're already into the embedded Linux, but somehow you are confused where to go next? You already know the basics, probably you would have joined some courses, but you still don't have the clear picture of where to proceed. Or whenever you basically get into some interviews and you appear for the interviews for the embedded Linux, the moment the interviewer asks you the next level of things, or from the practical usage perspective, you are totally lost and you are somehow not able to clear that. If your answer is yes to any of these queries, then you are at the right place. So hey there, I'm Pradeep Devani here. I'm a mentor, trainer, and a consultant in the embedded Linux. I'm into this embedded Linux related stuff from last 15 years. I have trained over 1,000 plus professionals, and I have taken the corporate trainings for the 50 plus clients as such. To know more details about me and the courses which I offer, I have put the link for my website. You can just visit the website to know what all courses are available, and whatever interests you, then you can reach out to me. All right. So now over here, I'm here to answer you to your queries wherever you are stuck. So if you are stuck due to any of these points where you don't know where to start, where you are, where what should be your next step, then I have an answer to that. The ultimate system which is designed to help you master the embedded Linux development. Now, what does this particular embedded Linux development program contain? So let's look into this. So first of all, I would like to say over here is whatever I'm going to discuss about, it's not any traditional course which you would have come across. When I say basically a course, these courses are meant to provide you the information, but this particular system is not supposed to just provide you the information, because information is everywhere. You just use the chat gpt and you get lots of information. So that's not the purpose of this particular program. And another thing is, this is not actually a course, it's a journey. So when you will be basically joining the program, you will be onto the journey with me. Okay, so as I told, it's not a course, it's the journey. Now, one thing, as I was telling you, is here you are not supposed to just get the information. Like information dump is not the motive behind this system. It's about getting the results. I care about your results. I basically have designed the system in such a way that you should be able to get the results in a faster possible way. This whole module, this whole particular program is designed in such a way. Now, the only way basically to fail over here is to quit. So if you basically decide to quit, that's the only way you can fail. Otherwise, as long as you are into the system, there's no chance of failure, because I am here to help you out. I am here to hold you at each and every point. Okay, so now the one question which definitely I would like to ask you is, do you guys love games? Maybe the video games or any kind of games. So typically, if you see in the mobile games, why we are getting motivated by that? Because you have a clear cut path being provided over here, and you basically have the levels. So whenever you basically cross one level, you feel a kind of accomplishment. So I would say, like, the reason you love these games is because there are challenges, and as and when you move from one challenge to another challenge, you get a sense of accomplishment that yes, this challenge is crossed. Now you are at level 1, now you are at level 2, level 3, something like this, and the whole journey is being carved out in a very, I can say, structured manner. So I would say challenges are the one which keep you motivated. So another thing which I believe is, journey without challenges has no meaning. So similarly in my system, whatever the program which I'm going to discuss over here, there are lots of challenges which you need to go through, and you will get a sense of accomplishment as and when you basically cross those milestones. Okay, so now let's move on to this. So journey begins with application level proficiency. Now, what is this application level proficiency? That means working into the user space. So you might have heard about something like threads, the processes, all the OS concepts, so are being discussed over here. So the overall goal of this particular module, application level proficiency, is to provide you the confidence that you can develop a full-fledged application. Okay, so as a application developer, what all APIs, what all construct does the OS offers you, and using those constructs, how do I develop the full-fledged Linux application? So that's the motivation behind this particular module. So let me just walk you through the goals. So the goals over here is clarity from the usage perspective and the practical applicability. So now what happens is, on the Linux application, there might be various books and various courses you would have gone through, but none of them basically guides you from the practical usage perspective. And that's what basically the interviewers are looking for, your manager is looking for, that where you should have a very clear cut understanding of this thing, where will I apply. For example, when I'm using any IPC, so I have variety of IPCs available. So given a problem, which IPC should I apply where? So that practical usage perspective will you will be guided on when you will get into this particular module. Next thing is, so this will basically help you get the proficiency in the Linux application development. You will be able to develop the multi-threaded, multi-process application over here with the synchronization mechanisms, of course. And as you know, when you are having a two processes, typically you want both the processes to communicate with each other. So how do you achieve that kind of thing? So that's where you basically get inter-process communication mechanism. So you have the pipes, you have the FIFOs, you have the message queues, you basically have the shared memories and all those kind of things. So remember, all these things will be accompanied by the assignments. So again, see, just learning about the concepts is not that useful. What you need is basically the hands-on. I truly believe that without hands-on, whatever you'd be learning, you will forget it very soon. So that's why this whole journey, this whole module is being accompanied with the challenges, the assignments which you need to complete. Another thing which basically synchronization mechanism, mutex, semaphore, conditional variables, their practical usage, socket programming, that means network programming when you want to transfer the data from one PC to another PC, you basically need the networking. So socket programming will be covered. Now, not only that, so what happens is you learned about the concepts, you have got the assignments. So that is just one part of it. But in order to get this concept deep inside, what we basically need is a project. So this particular module is also being accompanied with a project. Now, what that project is, so this project is one of the project which I have taken from one of my industrial experience. So one of the live project which I was working on for my company. So from there, I have extracted out the things and I am basically presenting you that particular project to you. Okay, so now how does this project, how this whole thing is structured? So if you see over here, what we have is, at every each and every stage. So for example, let's say you are into the stage of processes. So what you will be happening is you will be given the set of assignments with a templates. So now what happens is, over here there will be some to-dos being provided to you, and as a part of that to do's, you basically need to complete that and you need to submit those assignments. So you don't have to basically, and there is no need to develop anything from scratch. At the strategic points, you are being provided the to do's. So you are supposed to complete the to do's. Now, when it comes to the project, how does the project looks like? So this is basically a project requirement. Now, this project requirement, we basically want to translate it into the implementation. We want to get the things done. So it's a client server based project which we have over here, and it involves all the things like a multi-process environment, multi-threaded environment, and then the synchronization between them to give you the complete picture of what does the application level involve. And apart from this, what you are being provided over here is, if you look into this stuff, a very structured approach. So this is the my learning management system on which you will be enrolled, and you have a very structured and the step by step information over here. So you see, for example, there is a repository which is being maintained, and then for each and every topic, you need to complete the assignments. You need to submit the assignments over here. So you see there is a huge list of assignments from the practical perspective which you will be going through, and during the meetups we'll be basically discussing on these assignments. All right, so that's what this thing contains, the milestone number one, application level proficiency. So overall, like what do you get when you will get into this application level proficiency? The pre-recorded sessions to cover the fundamentals. So you see there are pre-recorded sessions available to cover the fundamentals. Now I basically know, like most of the times what happens, everyone wants to attend the live sessions. They basically do are not interested in the recorded sessions. Of course, that thing is the one which is required by many, but what I would like to say is, like, just going uh, just repeating those fundamentals again and again, even though you basically attend it live, it's not going to help out. So I do have the live sessions which keep on going, but during these live sessions we want to take our skills to the next level. So there will be access to the lifetime meetups where your questions will be answered, where we will review the assignments, where we are basically going to discuss a topic in detail. So fundamentals, you will get it through the recorded videos, but you will have a lifetime access to the meetups where the aim should be to discuss the things at the next level. Okay, from the practical perspective, from the usage perspective, and all those kind of things. So you have a kind of lifetime support from me, where you can interact with me, where you can basically discuss your queries, where you can basically come up with the ideas, and we will discuss about that. So it's like a community. So what we are you are getting into is one of the community. So I have quite a lot of members already over here, and once you get into this training program, you will get the access to that community, the like-minded professionals which will help you to grow. Okay, so every topic is accompanied with the assignments. Then what you have a step-by-step guide to proceed with complete guide. So you see over here in my LMS, the way it is structured is like, first you need to go through the system calls, then processes, then you need to go to the signals, inter-process communication, and at each and every stage we'll have a project. So now the way the project is organized is like, you have something called the project which has 6 stages. So for example, signal related fundamentals we will apply here, then IPC related fundamental we will apply here, and then for example, shared memory related fundamental we will apply here. So step by step we will be moving ahead with this particular project, and then at the final stage 6 you will have a full-fledged project, uh, the working project with a multi-threaded, multi-process, and programming based, and I can say uh, project which uses the synchronization mechanisms effectively. So all those concepts are being covered and applied in this project. Okay, so now move on. So you will get a support on assignment. There will be a WhatsApp group where you can post your queries. And project is based on the industrial requirement. As I told you, one of the project which I was working with my company. So that thing is the one which I have brought over here. So live sessions are here to recharge you on a regular basis, on the weekly basis. Every week we'll be meeting up during the weekends, typically, where you can basically recharge yourself. So that is basically the amazing experience, coming together with a community and discussing the things. Lifelong learning, so this will basically get you into the habit of lifelong learning. Okay, so if you want to learn every day, and if you want to learn every week, you want to keep on learning, then this is basically the best place to get into. Now, here we basically discuss the next level of concepts corresponding to topics, practical use cases for the concepts. For example, when I say IPC, like which IPC I should apply where, so that is being covered in a very crisp and clear manner. Then you have a Q&As and knowledge bites. So now what is this knowledge bites? Typically, like, I will keep on coming up with an article and I would be discussing with you. But now let's say sometime you figure out, okay, I have found something new and I want to share it with a community. You are free to do that. So here you will be able to get into the golden triangle of success. You learn, you do, and share. So in case you are interested in sharing, the platform is provided to you to do so. All right, so now we'll be moving on to the next milestone, which is Linux driver level proficiency. So now what is this Linux driver level proficiency? That means everything related to the device drivers, in the sense starting from how do I write the basic driver to something like a character driver. Now once I written I've written the character driver, so all the aspects like how do I register the character driver, how do I uh, 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 basically register my file operations, then I will be going to the ioctl kind of thing. And of course then you have something like how do you control the hardware, something like a simple hardware like a led from the driver, and how do you exchange the data with a user space. So all those details are covered, all those things are covered in the detailed manner. Now, not only that, what you get over here is, see, in order to write a driver, you should understand the kernel programming as well. So let's say I want to create the thread. How should I do it? I basically want to use the synchronization mechanism, mutex, semaphore, spin locks, where it should be used, how it should be used. Then interrupt management. Then something like a timing management. So all those concepts are discussed in detail over there. So not only that, apart from this, like when you want to write some advanced kind of drivers, then you need something like a platform drivers. You require something like a device tree. So we basically cover all these things over here. So let me just quickly walk you through this. The goal is to get the clarity on the role of the drivers, category of the drivers, in-depth understanding of the character drivers, enhancing the driver to control onboard LED, blocking the process to wait for an event. For example, let's say you got the request from the user space, read me the data. Now, let's say from your peripherals, let's say the data has not yet come. So how do you make your process wait in a driver? So those aspects, and of course, when it is waiting, how do I unblock it when the data has reached? So all those kind of aspects will give you the in-depth understanding of the things. Then you have a kernel timing management where we'll discuss about the jiffies, how do we use the delays, how do we use the kernel timers, all those things will be discussed. Then you have a interrupt management, the top half, the bottom half, and all those kinds will come over here, and where you will be knowing like how do we practically use the interrupts. Then comes the platform drivers. As I told you, basically, whenever you are writing a driver, typically you don't write a plain character driver. You might be using a platform drivers over there. Now, platform drivers is one part, but another part is something like a device tree. So device tree concepts are also being covered over here in a very detailed manner. All right. So what you will be given is basically a kind of uh, uh, I can say like basic platform driver, then to the platform driver from where you can get the data, then enhancing it to the application to use the DTB. So all of those things in a very practical oriented manner. Okay, and of course, as I told you, each and every topic is being accompanied with a assignment. So now let me show you over here how does it looks like. So if I go to my Linux kernel programming, Linux kernel internals, so this is how it looks like. So you have a character driver. For the character driver, what you will be having is something like assignments. So whatever useful links will be there, I will share across those things. So for example, over here, I will have assignments. Okay. For example, so it will be a very step by step. So you complete these to dos, all the explanation, everything will be provided over here. And here also is basically the assignment, which will be using something like all the step by step in a very detailed manner. The steps are being provided to you. Okay, so now that basically says about the driver. Now, what are the prerequisites? What does it include actually? So again, a pre-recorded sessions to cover the fundamentals. Every topic is accompanied with challenges. Now, the advantages of having this pre-recorded videos where you have the lifetime access to the pre-recorded videos is that fundamentals are always available to you. You can refresh your knowledge anytime. And another thing is you can move on with your own pace. So let's say like during a particular phase, like it's happening, you are too much overloaded with your work or your personal life and you are not able to focus. You are on your journey. Remember, you can get onto this journey at any point of time. You can take your things at the your pace. Let's say you want to move faster, so then also it's fine. Let's say you want to move a bit slower, that's also fine. So you can basically maintain your things, because these meetups will keep on happening every single week. Okay, and there are other things also which I'm going to come to in a little while. So now there is a step-by-step guide to proceed with a complete module, support on assignments. You have a live sessions to recharge yourself on a weekly basis. So as I told you, then lifelong learning, next level concepts, use cases for the concepts, knowledge bites that is involved here. All right. So now this is fine that you basically have the driver and you have the application, but what about the end-to-end system? Because the goal should be understanding the things end to end. So in order to help you with this, there is a project which will be help which you need to develop, which will give you a complete end-to-end understanding. So you will be given a problem statement over here, and you need to apply those concepts whatever you have learned on the end-to-end project. So just to give you the example, let's say I want to implement the pipe in my driver. So pipe by default is already available, the system call is available and the driver is available, but I want to basically develop my own driver, the character driver, where I need to manage two processes, sending the data and synchronizing with each other, and all those kind of things I want to do. So those things you will be doing it. So that is just a single example, but apart from this there are many such examples which you have, which you will be provided, many such mini projects you will be provided, which will give you a complete understanding of a system. So you'll be writing a customized application, you will be given a problem statement which you need to translate to the user space application. So projects, and now comes the next part. How does it helps to overcome the the roadblocks, like how it will help you to basically overcome the issues, like embedded Linux system is an ocean. So how does it help you? So as if it is ocean, you basically need to wade through it in a very step by step approach. So this is like a step by step static approach. You have whole journey is broken into the milestones, and there are well structured modules for that. And you are typically, let's say, confused about starting point and what next. So it's a well defined journey. As I told you, you basically have the milestone, and each and every module is organized in a very structured way. So you can get on there, and you will be provided the support to get on with your journey. It's a very well designed and the well structured thing, which is coming directly from the 15 years of my experience to help you get on the fast track. Okay, so one of the problems which each one faces is like there is lots of unstructured information. You don't need, you basically don't know like how to proceed. So now that problem is gone because you are being presented with a structured information, well structured modules, as I have shown you in my learning management system. So with every topic being accompanied by the hands-on. Lack of action. So now lack of action comes basically if there is path, if the path is not known, so that basically demotivates us. So here you are being given the path, you are being given the challenges, you can take up these challenges at any point of time. So milestones and challenges to keep you motivated. Lack of guidance. Now this is one of the very I can say typical problem which everyone faces. So typically you join the course, once you are done with the course, now there is no one to guide you, and you will be just wondering like where to seek the help from. But as I told you over here, you will be along with me for the lifetime. Okay, lifetime basically. The classes will keep on going, so you can basically join those meetups, you can come with your questions, what wherever you are stuck, you can basically tell me. As a community, whatever is there, we will be helping you out, and you have a WhatsApp group for the support as well. So lack of motivation, again, it comes when you don't have the clear path. But here you have the like-minded professionals, you have the vibrant environment, which can basically keep you going. So who are basically goal-oriented, the like-minded professionals. So that will not allow you to get demotivated. And there will be weekly meetups to recharge yourself. Now you might have the various questions over here. So let me actually let me address those questions. So one of the thing is you might be feeling I'm a novice beginner. Would it help? Of course it will be helping you out if you're a novice or a beginner, because that's where you are starting your journey in a very very structured manner. So it's definitely going to help, in the sense the system is designed in such a way that for you the journey becomes straightforward, and you just have to cross those milestones one by one. Now, do I need the prior knowledge of Linux? So actually speaking, the comfortability with the Linux is required, the Linux fundamentals and all. But let's say you don't have that. So I would be sharing with you the appropriate links and appropriate things. But like when it's a matter of one day or so, you will be comfortable with the commands and all those kind of things. And then you can move on to the Linux application level thing. And as and when you will be working on the system, so since you will be keeping on working on the system, you will get accustomed to it. Okay, so just comfortably with the basic commands is required. What are the prerequisites? So you need the Linux virtual machine. You need the BeagleBone Black. Remember, we are talking of the embedded Linux development board. So sorry, we are talking of the embedded Linux. So we basically need some development board. Now here I will use the Raspberry. I will be using a BeagleBone Black. Now some of you guys might have a Raspberry Pi. So one honest, I can say, advice would be Raspberry Pi is not the board for the embedded Linux developers, because the thing is, Raspberry Pi, most of the things are closed. You don't get the data sheet. You basically don't get any schematic, and it's very, very difficult to dig into. So if you are into the embedded system, one of the things which you require is you should be able to dig very, very deep all the way to the hardware registers. But Raspberry Pi unfortunately doesn't allows you that, because it's a closed environment. So that's why I won't recommend that, and I recommend that you should have a BeagleBone Black over here. Another thing is, you might have a question. I already have a basic knowledge on the Linux application development. Would it help? So as I told you, typically see whatever concepts you know, you feel that you know the things, but as soon as it comes from the application perspective, like when you are being given a project and you want to apply these concepts, you tend to get lost. So that is what you will be overcoming over here from the practical usage perspective. So it doesn't matter you have the application, you know all this semaphores and all those things, I would still recommend that you should go through this. It's going to give you a different perspective when you will be doing a project and the assignments. I'm occupied in my day-to-day activities. How do I take it up? Okay, that is perfectly fine. So as I told, you are on the journey. You can get into the journey at any point of time. You can take this journey at your own pace. There is no pressure. There is no rush, because you have got the lifetime access to the meetups over here. So definitely there is no issue. Now, one thing which I would like to tell over here is another thing which I want to quickly tell about is assignments. Projects are one thing, but apart from this particular thing, particular module, whatever that membership I'm offering you, it has something called the hackathons. Now what are hackathons? Hackathons means, I can say, like it's like we will be having one challenge, and that challenge we will be solving it live. Okay, so there will be some missions. Basically, let's say there is one problem statement. That problem statement we want to solve. So all of us as a community will be coming together. We'll be solving that particular problem. So theme and all we will decide on the basis of what requirements are coming. So requirements will be given, and as a team, we'll be working on those requirements. We'll be discussing on those requirements. We will be brainstorming on this requirement. So now just imagine if you get the environment like that, where you are able to interact like with live, and you are able to have a live hands-on with a like-minded professionals. What would be the level of like, just think of the skills which you will acquire from there. So that is what this program is meant for. And another thing is, you have the lifetime access to these hackathons. These will keep on repeating, and there will be challenge which we will be taking up, and accordingly we will be handling that challenge. All right, so that's what is this program about. So now if you want to get the details at the very content level, I have already provided in the description for this. So you can just visit that particular PDF. You can visit my website as well. And apart from this, what happens is I keep on sharing my knowledge on the WhatsApp groups. The links for those WhatsApp groups is already being provided into the description, so just have a look at it. And last but not least, if you find this video useful, you can like it, share it, and subscribe it. I keep on posting such videos on the regular basis. So thank you very much for listening me. Hope you found this information useful. Stay tuned and God bless. Thank you very much.